Hey guys, it's Christina. Today I'm going to be talking a little about animal cruelty and I guess animals in captivity. So for one of my classes, I have to write an essay about, I guess, a controversial topic in this world. And I decided to choose animals held in captivity for entertainment. It's kind of like you have your opinion, you have to back up your opinion and why you think you're right. It's kind of like one of those argumentative essays. I thought I would kind of talk to you guys about it because I am writing an essay about it, and I thought, why not talk to you about animal cruelty? And so when I was younger, I used to love SeaWorld. Of course, we only went to Florida a few times in my childhood, but whenever we did, we would go to SeaWorld, and that was like my favorite part. I loved seeing killer whales. I loved seeing the dolphins. I don't know why killer whales have always been my favorite animal. I'm not really sure why. I guess just because they're just so beautiful. They're remarkable creatures. I think it was over the summer. I recently watched the new documentary called A Blackfish, and it's about SeaWorld and how they, I guess, treat the animals, and it's kind of a behind the scenes of what SeaWorld really does. So if you guys are planning to watch it, just mentally prepare yourself that it does show, I guess, animal abuse. So I guess where I stand on this topic is that I don't like that animals are held for entertainment. And what that means is that they're held just to perform or just to amuse kids and guests. So rehabilitation zoos usually take in the animals that have been hurt or abandoned, and they take them in and nurture them back to health, or they give them the stability that they need in order to survive. A lot of rehabilitation places do release the wild animals back into the wild if they can fend for themselves. Sometimes the animals can't fend for themselves, or they are so physically damaged that they cannot take care of themselves, they cannot do things that they used to be able to do, and so that they have to stay in the park or zoo for education. And that is completely okay with me. It helps the animals, it educates people. So technically, according to Blackfish, which I do believe, I don't find this surprising at all that SeaWorld does this type of stuff. Members of the SeaWorld committee and employees go into the wild and track down wild orcas, or also known as killer whales, and they track down a pod. So say the big pod has like a few adults, and then it has two babies. One of the strategies that SeaWorld uses to separate the calves and the mother whales is that they direct the mothers in one direction. Like, it's kind of like a split fork, so they will find part of the ocean or part of, I guess, a body of water that splits into two ways, and they will direct the mothers in one way, and they'll direct the calves in another. So the calves cannot see their mom, they don't have help from their mother, and so they go in and they basically capture the calf. The thing that confuses me is whether or not SeaWorld really knows how these animals think, how these animals live. So killer whales are family-oriented animals. They live in pods of 4 or 5, I think. 4, 5, 6. So they prefer to stay in a pod, just like dolphins. They have started this thing where they will breed the calves in SeaWorld, like in the actual park, and sometimes they take the baby away and place them in another tank until it gets older, or they will place it in another amusement park And they will separate the mom and the baby, and the mom is depressed. The mom cries at the bottom of the tank for weeks. She makes weird sounds that are not normal. They don't acknowledge anyone, because they're devastated. Their calf just got taken away from them, and because these are so family-oriented creatures, it's like someone kidnapping your baby. Would you want, like, it's not like one of those animals that gives birth and says, okay, bye, you're on your own. It's one of those animals that nurtures the baby calf for a long time. And what I don't understand is, does SeaWorld really understand the science behind these whales? Do they understand the thinking? Do they care? Like, if they know, do they care? Like, do they care that these animals are suffering? And then eventually, as they get older and they're ready to perform shows for the general public, they will be put in that big tank that you usually see at SeaWorld, and that's not big enough. These whales are a few thousand tons. Like, they need room to swim. They thrive off swimming for miles just to hunt. So you would not want to be stuck in a tank, in a plexiglass tank, with faces looking at you in, like, fake blue water, and nothing under, just concrete on the bottom and plexiglass on the sides. These animals are not meant to perform for humans. They are not meant to perform with humans either. I remember when I went to go to SeaWorld when I was little, and the humans were actually in the water with the whales, and they were doing tricks. They were standing on the nose of the whale, they were standing on the back of the whale, they were holding onto their dorsal fin and swimming with them. They were doing flips in the air with them, and ever since one of the whales killed a trainer, they stopped doing that for safety reasons for the humans. No one has ever heard of a killer whale attacking a human in the wild. Obviously, people aren't going to jump in with the whale and be like, oh, I'm not getting attacked. But there hasn't been one case in which a killer whale has attacked and killed a human. I guess in SeaWorld, the animals are contained in a little tank with each other, and I guess they're just slowly losing their mind. They are losing patience. They're depressed. This literally changes the way that they think. It literally changes the way that they act. It changes everything about the whale. These whales are probably completely different from the whales that you would see in the wild if you were to go on a cruise ship in Alaska or wherever these type of whales live. I am so surprised by the patience of these whales. These whales could eat these trainers in one bite. Like, the fact that that whale just bit her foot and dragged her to the bottom of the tank. That whale could have just chomped her in half. Like, they don't understand the fact that these whales are trying to be so patient. And obviously, I don't know the mind of a whale, but I'm assuming that these whales are so patient. They're patient enough to work with humans. They're patient enough for eyes to be stared at. They're patient enough of kids tapping on the glass. They're like, I would not be patient. I would probably kill myself if I had to live in that situation. And this isn't only with whales at SeaWorld, it's also with other animals at the zoo, like elephants and like tigers and rhinos and big cats. Big cats are used to roaming miles on the safari. They're used to catching their own food and hunting and feeding their cubs. They're used to being able to hide in the bushes, being able to use their environment around them to hunt for themselves. But yet, when they're in a zoo, a little zookeeper comes in the little hole and feeds them a piece of meat. I feel like the animals are just losing their ability to defend for themselves. These animals will never be able to be released back into the wild because they don't know how to hunt for themselves. They don't know what it's like to be in the wild. I remember I read about the whale that was used in Free Willy. If you guys don't know what Free Willy is a really famous movie. When the movie was done, they decided to release the killer whale after years of it being fed by them, after years of them caring for the animal, and the whale died. The whale died because apparently it got lonely and it didn't know how to fend for himself. It missed the human contact and the human relationship that it had with the humans on set. Wouldn't you think that the whale wouldn't be able to survive in the wild after being guided through life by humans? And it died. And it was tragic for me. As a kid, I loved killer whales, like I said before. And I loved this movie. This movie made me cry every time I watched it. And when I heard about the whale passing in real life, it was sad to me. And obviously I was really young to kind of understand fully, but I knew that it just wasn't right to release that whale right after the movie finished. There's just, obviously you would think about that. But overall, I think that animals for entertainment is disgusting, and it should not happen anymore. That is probably all I'm going to say about this topic. I could say a lot more, but I'm not going to. Again, this is my opinion. You guys will have other opinions, but I thought this was an interesting topic to talk about. SeaWorld is trying to deny the whole blackfish thing and all their facts, but SeaWorld can't cover anything. And I probably will never support them again. I hope you guys had a great Halloween. For watching, I truly appreciate it. Comment down below what you guys think about animals in captivity. Obviously, everyone's gonna have different opinions. Everyone's gonna have different facts. So just let me know. Be kind about it, obviously. No one really comments on my videos anyways, but that's okay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!